listening to The Gender Rebels.
I'm Kathleen, a cis woman and ally.
And I'm Faith, a trans woman.
Gender Rebels is a question and answer podcast that explores life outside the gender binary.
A big thanks to our Patreon supporters.
If you'd like to support the show, go to patreon.com/genderrebels. Hey everyone, I'm Kath.
And I'm Faith.
Faith, do we have any patrons to thank?
We do. We have a few patrons to thank, actually. We've got Abby.
Abby, thank you.
And we've got Robert S.
Robert S., thank you.
And, of course, Jenny M.
Jenny M., thank you.
And Anna W.
Anna W., you're awesome.
Thank
you. Thank you so much, patrons.
Yay.
Hey, Faith, I got a question.
Yeah, what's your question?
This is sent in by a listener, and they say, Faith's makeup always seems to be totally on point.
Okay. Not on fleek.
Nope, not on fleek.
It's a different thing. Okay. Is it lit?
No, it's not lit.
Okay.
There are a mountain of makeup tutorials online, but they're generally about achieving a particular look or teaching advanced techniques. And I just don't really know where to start. If you had to put together a beginner essentials makeup kit, what would you put in it? And what do you think are the most important things to know for trans women just starting out with makeup?
All right.
They're not wrong. You do look good.
Thank you. That's me after 20 plus years of putting on makeup.
No, are you just going to tell them it's practice? Because I hate when people say that.
It's TLDR, it's practice. No, but now we'll go into the whole gritty detail because there are some good questions here. So, makeup. Oh my gosh. All right. Makeup and makeup for trans people. I remember when I was just, oh my gosh, barely starting out. Mm-hmm. I met this wonderful drag queen, Claire Storm, from South Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina, and she was like the first person I had ever seen who was like any sort of like gender bendery, in person. And so it was amazing. So when I first met her, I was like blown away. Mm-hmm. And I had asked her, about advice on makeup, and she said, well, the first thing you got to know is that cover girl does not cover boy.
Oh.
So, and I disagree with that, and I'm going to go into why I disagree with that.
All right.
Where most people are going to start out, I think, when you've never done makeup before, you have no idea what to do. Mm-hmm. Everyone's been there. Everyone is at that stage. A lot of cis women have the benefit of being there when they're like 12. Mm-hmm. And I've seen some 12-year-olds with some pretty slapdash makeup looks. Of course, nowadays they're probably doing YouTube tutorials and stuff, and they look fantastic. But
yeah, some are.
In my day, back in junior high, I remember a few of the girls being a little slapdash, a little heavy on the makeup.
Honestly, I wouldn't have been able to recognize. I didn't know what was right and wrong. I knew what magazine people looked like. I didn't know how to get that. And if people in front of me had like crooked eyeliner, like if it was really obvious, I would notice it. But otherwise, I anyway.
Maybe let's just say enthusiastically applied.
Sure.
I would say, okay, you're starting from nowhere. You have no idea where makeup is, what makeup to do. And we're going to say you're MTF or you're assigned male at birth and you want to practice makeup. That's fantastic. That's fun. Mm-hmm. We'll talk about essentials. And then we'll talk about some techniques.
Cool.
Now, essentials. The first thing you're really going to need is a good foundation. Mm-hmm. There are basically like 3 types of foundation. There are what are called powders. Powders are nice matte powder, and they might be in a cake form, like a compact. This is your 1940s compact powder your nose kind of thing. Mm-hmm. There are creams or gels or mousses.
Mousse, okay.
If you will. Mm-hmm. So more of a thixotropic kind of,
goo.
A goo.
Yes.
A goo. And then there's liquid, which is, going to be much thinner and runnier. Mm-hmm. You're probably going to want to stick with the second one, the goopier one, the thixotrope. No, a gel or a cream, basically, because the thin liquid is probably going to be too thin. It's probably not going to be as opaque as you like. Mm-hmm. And if you're assigned male at birth, you've been through male puberty, chances are you've got that beard. You're going to need something to cover it. And
so you're not saying use foundation to cover a beard. You're saying use foundation to cover your 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not even a 5 o'clock shadow. I mean, the first thing you're going to do is shave your face as close as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, what I do is shave it going down and then shave it again going up and then shave for any spots you may have missed or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be the first thing you're going to do. Shave your face nice and good. If you want to do that, like, gender fluid, non-binary thing where you're like, I'm going to wear a beard
and just scruff or
with
something.
makeup, more power to you.
Awesome.
You rock it.
Yes.
You're going to skip this step. And honestly, I would say in that case, I don't know what to tell you about, but I would probably skip foundation or use it just in the areas. And you'd have to blend really well.
Yeah.
Because you don't want it clumping in your beard.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're going to assume you don't have the beard. You're shaved really nice. I would say after you shave, do some lotion on your face. Mm-hmm. And again, this is because it's something like gesso when you paint. When you paint a canvas, you use cheap gesso paint because the canvas is going to absorb something. And you want to use lotion because your skin's going to absorb something. You don't want it to absorb the makeup. Absorb that lotion first. Moisturizing is also good. All right, so I would say the foundation that I use, Maybelline is not paying me.
Oh, okay.
But if they want to pay me, I am open to this.
I will take your money, Maybelline.
Is Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse. If they ever discontinue that, I mean, I'll be unhappy.
You'll find another fixative.
I've used liquids and stuff. But yeah, I use Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse because it is kind of nice and thick. You can layer it on there really good. When it comes to a beard, you're gonna just no matter how good you shave, you're gonna have a little bit of a beard shadow. And so you're just gonna want to put that on real nice. If you want to get complex, you can do color correction with a color correcting palette. That's something you can buy. Again, we're talking all drugstore makeup today.
Yeah, nothing
right?
fancy.
If you want to go fancy, you can go to Sephora, and every single one of these products I mentioned is going to cost you $30 to $40. The ones I'm going to talk about now are going to be the cheap ones because you're just learning. Cheap makeup is fine.
Yeah.
Cheap makeup is fantastic. My favorite eyeliner pencils are 99 cents. So you're going to use that foundation, and you're going to cover over real nice, and you're going to smooth it out. You'll need a makeup sponge. They sell these in packs in the drugstore. $3 for like 100 or whatever it is.
I just use my fingers. What's the advantage?
I like using the sponge because it's just easier.
Okay.
You could use your fingers. If you want to save the $3 on sponges, I think sponges are fine.
And I second your nomination for the Dream Matte Mousse. It's really easy to control. You get nice full coverage. Something you'll find with foundation is sometimes they're sheer or medium coverage, and those are code words for they don't work very well. So even if they match you perfectly, if you have any kind of blemishes or imperfections, or you just want to smooth everything out, I like the mousse, the Dream Matte Mousse.
I also like the mousse.
It makes my skin look like velvet.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Maybe it's Dream Matte
Go to
Mousse.
Maybelline.com for more. No.
Stop. They're not paying us.
They can pay us. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll find it.
All right. So you got your sponges. You got your Dream Matte Mousse. You got your moisturizer.
You got your moisturizer. You got your Dream Matte Mousse or other cream foundation that's nice and thick. You're going to want it to match your skin, obviously. That's something you're going to have to kind of gauge if you're going to the drugstore by yourself.
That's a hard one.
If you're in a place where you're not ready to come out. Maybe you live in a smaller town. The drugstore's safe because I got that self-checkout, which is fantastic. Or, or you can go to Walmart at 3 a.m. and they've got that self-checkout maybe. That's always good if you're worried about running into someone from church or your parents' friends or your parents.
Or your neighbors.
Yeah. So beyond that, you're going to probably want a powder foundation. Most of these cream or liquid foundations tend to be very glossy, which may leave your skin looking kind of oily.
Wait, but you just said the fixative foundation instead of powder.
Sorry?
You said go for the cream.
I did, but then if you want, you can use a powder foundation.
Oh, okay.
To kind of do
to cut the shine.
To cut the shine.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get a powder palette. Again, you want to try to match your skin tone. You're going to have to guess a little bit.
Yeah, just do your best.
But just do your best. I guessed for years.
Mm-hmm. And especially if this is still just something you're going to be doing inside and not really venturing outside, like, it's good to get it as accurate as you can, but if other people aren't seeing you, you're still going to look beautiful. It's still going to be very striking. Yeah. But like for real life walking around, matching.
Yeah, if you're a shade or two off, it's not going to really matter. Mm-hmm. But don't go wildly off. I had the situation when we went on vacation, and I was trying to do goth makeup, but I had gotten a sunburn, and my goth makeup suddenly looked like clown makeup because my skin was darker.
It did look terrible.
So you want to avoid that.
Yeah.
You're probably going to guess pretty well. The next thing you might want to do is a blush or a contouring palette. And I'll explain what those are. The thing is that once you've done your foundation, let's say you've done your gel foundation, you've done your maybe your powder on top to cut the shine a little bit, you're gonna look like Data from Star Trek.
Yes.
That's what I always call my Data moment.
You got the base on. Yeah.
You got the base on.
Your skin will look great. It will be even and smooth and matte. It won't be shiny at all. It'll be wonderful. But you'll just be eyes and mouth holes and nose holes in a plate.
Yeah. So good to start putting on some blush. Blush is usually a kind of rosier thing. There's blush and bronzer. Bronzers tend to be more yellowy browns. Blushes tend to be more pinks. And for those, and including contouring palettes, which are kind of brownish, I like to do just a little bit around a contour, just around the circle of your face.
So just sort of around the hairline?
Just around the hairline and a little bit toward the edges, just by your ears.
You're not going down around the jaw, chin.
You can.
You can, really?
You can. And again, contouring is a more complex thing. You'll need brushes and things.
I'm scared of contouring. I don't do it, but...
You don't have to. You can just do a little bit of blush or bronzer on your cheekbones. Mm-hmm. Some people say to puff up your cheeks and do it kind of on the apple of your cheeks. Mm-hmm. That is one way that will look good.
That's how I do it.
If you're doing a bronzer, you can do a little bit of a reverse look where you're actually kind of bringing out, you're doing it on the bottom of your cheekbones. You can do that. I do that all the time. I have fantastic cheekbones. They look even better. Even though you're not supposed to be doing blush that way.
Oh, really?
I break the rules on blush every day. I almost never do that apple of the cheek thing.
Yeah.
But that's what people recommend, apple of the cheek, and that is what I'm telling you, dear listener.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you're just starting out.
Yeah.
And the contouring she's talking about is actually like a darker line lower on your cheek, because if you picture the shadow on the face of someone who has really amazing cheekbones, that's sort of what this contouring is.
I may be doing that entirely wrong, but it looks good, so I do it.
You walk out of the house looking like $1 million every day.
Thank you.
You might know what you're talking about.
She's also very cute when she leaves the house.
Aww.
We're very professional.
I hope our coworkers appreciate all this.
I know, right?
Effort we put into it.
There's a few days where I'm like, fuck it, I'm not getting dressed up for my coworkers.
Have you ever been at work and thought today was a total waste of makeup?
No, because I always like wearing makeup outside the house. So you can get a contouring palette. Again, a blush. Start with just a basic pink if you're gonna go with a blush. If you've got, pale skin like that. If your skin is more olive or darker, I would say go with a bronzer. Mm-hmm. And then that will, another thing you can just pick up at the drugstore. Again, this is all just drugstore makeup. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we're up to 4 items right now.
And I would say stay away from shimmer. I've had a few blushes that had some shimmer in them.
Yeah.
And that, light reflects off the particles. It's noticeable, and if you're going for just a basic, clean, girl next door look, I have started to get it without the shimmer, because it's complicated.
We're up to 3 products right now, sorry. Gel foundation, powder foundation, some sort of face color. That could be
blush or bronze.
Blush or bronzer or contour palette. Okay.
All right.
I would stay away from contouring for now. If you want to try it, get a contouring palette, look it up. You'll need a brush. You'll need a good brush, which you'll have to buy separate. Mm-hmm.
And this would be something to play with. This isn't like, I'm going to try it out and then go out. No. This is Sunday afternoon. Throw on some music. Play with it. Put it on, take it off. Put it on, take it off. Take some pictures. Compare how it looks.
You could listen to an episode of the Gender Rebels podcast while you do that.
We've got
yes
hundreds of these.
Yes. So then we'll get to the big part of your face, your eyes. 4 main pieces of stuff you need for your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do brows first. Brows can be basic. Get a brow pencil. You can get a cheap pencil. Wet n Wild makeup. I don't use them for foundation or bronzer stuff, but I definitely use them for a lot of eye pencils and things like that, and for eyeshadows because they're cheap. Wet n Wild brand, you get it at the drugstore. It is like everything on their little display is like 99 cents.
Yes, so for our listeners outside the United States, if you don't have Wet n Wild, this is the bare bones economy makeup. Yeah. There's still some good stuff
which is fantastic.
Not everything is going to be
not
good.
Everything. Their lip colors, I think, are garbage, but their eyeshadows are really high pigment, and their eye pencils are fantastic. So you can pick up a brow pencil that kind of matches your hair color, and you'll again have to gauge this, and then you'll pick up an eyeliner pencil. And I say go with eyeliner pencil to start. Pencil's a lot easier to control. You've been drawing with pencils your whole life. There exists liquid eyeliner, markers of eyeliner with little brush tips and things. Start with the pencil, build your way up. Okay. Then you got
your brow and your eyeliner.
Your brow and your eyeliner. That's 2 pencils. Just get 2 pencils. Get a pencil. Get a little makeup pencil sharpener. They're also like 99 cents. You can use your pencil sharpener, but you'll wreck it.
Yeah.
So don't wreck a good pencil sharpener. And eyeshadow. Eyeshadow, again, there's going to be 100 palettes. There's probably 10,000 palettes of different colors.
When she says palette, she means those containers that have multiple shades of color in them.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll be either your contouring palette or your blush palette or your eye palette.
Just a little box, a little flat box with powder in it. And you can pick up eyeshadow in whatever color you want. Have fun with it. I have a neutral palette that I like, which is just beiges and browns. I like to have that on like just regular days. And I want to back up real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick. Eyeliner, I tend to do a very black pencil, and I tend to have a dark brown pencil. And I use those in alternate days. The brown is like my more casual, if I'm not really putting a lot of effort into my stuff.
More natural, yeah.
Black is when I'm going for va-va-va-voom.
Glam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same with eyeshadow. I like having a nice neutral palette of browns. But I also love having like weird, wacky colors. So you can just pick a color you like, and eyeshadow will usually come with a little applicator in it. If you get just one that's like one color, it's probably not going to have an applicator. But again, you can look in the store, and they will either have applicators that you can buy, or they will have brushes. You can get a cheap pack of makeup brushes for about $10. There's not the best brushes in the world, but they'll work.
Or Q-tips, or your fingers.
Yeah. Alternately, if you have like watercolor brushes at home, not your nice sable brushes, but if you have some like nylon brushes that you use for arts and crafts, you can use those for makeup.
Ouch! Aren't they kind of stiff?
No, nylon is not hog's hair. The nylon.
Okay.
Synthetic nylon brushes.
You're not going to work in an art supply
You're not going to use your hog's hair brushes. Okay. Yeah, so
brushes, applicators, eyeshadow. So eyeshadow, I struggle with eyeshadow.
Yeah.
I have what's called the hooded eye, where my eyelid sort of covers most of the rest of my eyelid, and you really can't even see it, even if I do eyeshadow really well. Also, I have a problem with eyeshadow settling in the crease of my eyelid. So I actually don't bother with it too much, but you should definitely play with it. And have fun with it.
Definitely fun to play with. As Kath mentioned, there's 2 types of eyes. There's hooded eyes and non-hooded eyes. I had non-hooded.
You had hooded.
I had hooded. Kath has hooded. And when I got FFS, suddenly I had non-hooded.
Mm-hmm.
And that just basically means is that a hooded eye means you can't see any of the eyelid when your eyes are open.
It just tucks up under.
Yeah. And if it's non-hooded, you can see a little strip of eye, what do you call it? Eyelid.
And that is, hooded eye girls like me, eyeshadow is not completely off the table. It's just you got to figure out ways to deal with it.
And there's nothing wrong with either. There's very beautiful women with hooded eyes and plenty with non-hooded eyes. It has nothing to do with how your beauty or your quality as a human being. It's just something you got to work with, all right? It's like earlobes being attached or not, except we don't have earlobe makeup. Not yet.
Not yet. But eyeshadow can be fun. And the times I have played with it, like playing with a smoky eye or playing with a natural eye, this is where you find some tutorials of specific kinds of eyeshadow looks. And it can be fun.
And again, what you're going to want to do with eyeshadow, just the basics, is put kind of a lighter color on your eyelid. And then above where the crease is.
Wait, real quick. When you say on your eyelid, are we talking from the lash line all the way up to the
We're talking
brow?
From like the curve line.
Okay,
from the curve line of
crease.
your eye. That's the crease, which is where your eye kind of goes up into your head. Kind of that arch shape over your orbit. It's
So
basically where your orbit, where your skull is where you're putting it.
You don't put shadow all the way up to your eyebrow?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm talking just a plain neutral, basically like a foundation shadow. I'll do that sometimes.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on.
No, what I do
from the crease down
is just do that crease down and do a light color. I like to usually do my eyeshadow before I do my eyeliner.
Yeah, okay.
Some people do it differently. I don't know. Usually when I was screwing up my eyeliner all the time, it was good to get that on first because I might have to wash it off and that would screw up my
the shadow underneath. Yeah.
So definitely do that.
Play around and figure out what the best order is for you.
Yeah.
Sometimes different orders will surprise you.
And just do that light on the eyelid and then just above it on the crease, just do kind of a little shadow out that goes toward the side of your head. And just kind of play around with the shape that works best for you. But you kind of want to do a little arc just over that. And for basic, just try basic.
Looks nice.
And then if you want to go advanced, you can work on blending. You can blend with your finger or you can blend with a brush and sort of mix the colors together, make it look nice. I like to do in the arch of your eyebrow, I like to do just a little bit of a light color, a very light color there. So nice little pop of color there.
And is that to contrast with your eyebrow? Like, what does that do?
I think it contrasts with your eyebrow, makes your eyebrow arch look a little higher. And then on the inside of your eye, I like to do that same light.
Oh, right in that inner corner.
Yeah.
Not on any of the mucous membranes, outside it, on the actual skin. But yeah, a little... I see
between your nose and your eye, yeah.
Just a little spot of bright.
But again, you can play with this. You can play with this. Play around. And then you can do mascara. And there are going to be 700 mascaras that all claim to be the best mascara and to give you enormous, insane, giant butterfly lashes.
Ridiculous spider leg.
Yeah. Pick one that's basic and cheap.
Also, the ads, a lot of times, they'll have the girls wearing false eyelashes, and now the ads have to say that when that happens. So yeah, a basic one. I like waterproof ones, but they're harder to remove. But really, any basic will do. I think I have like a dark brown. You probably wear black.
I wear jet black every day.
It's more dramatic.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, once you pick out a basic mascara, again, you're just going to kind of roll that on a little bit. You play around with it. You've seen people do mascara, but the little fuzzy bit goes on your eyelashes and you move it around.
The one trick I like about mascara, because I don't always do eyeliner, is if you place the mascara brush at the base of your lashes and wiggle it back and forth and then sweep it up to get the mascara on the lashes, it gives you sort of a heavier deposit of color at the base of the lashes, which almost kind of gives you the effect that eyeliner does, where it's just a little kind of dark edging at the edge of your eyelid. So that's how I do it.
And don't be worried if it clumps and gets all clumpy and
or if it smears on your
crusty.
lid.
Yeah.
Wipe
It's
it off,
just,
start over.
I remember being a kid and trying mascara, and it would always just be really clumpy because I kept wanting to put more and more on.
Yeah.
You only need to put a little on. When I was little, I would like steal mascara and like put it on, and it would just, I'd keep putting it on and on and on until it got like super clumpy.
Less is more.
I don't want to say less is more. I want to say just do enough.
Use your judgment.
And, if you're playing around, don't use your judgment. If you're just having a fun Sunday, rainy Sunday, and inside playing with makeup, fucking play with it.
Yes.
Use poor judgment. Put on too much. Go crazy.
Now's the time.
Yeah. And then lastly, just lipstick.
Lipstick.
And pick a color that works for you. I mean, there's 100 different ones. There's a bajillion different colors. Pick one that you like.
Yeah. You might be tempted to go for a very bright red. If this is just playing around, do it. Go for it. Reds don't always work for everyone, and even if there are some that say there is a red for everyone, there's like orangier reds, which look better on some people, and more purpley reds that look better on some people. So those are a warm red or a cool red, respectively. That could be something fun to play with, but if you're going for just a basic look, I like this neutral pink that I inherited from you.
Okay, yeah.
I get all of her castaways.
She
it's
does.
So great. I get so much free makeup.
I have a neutral, like today I was dressed down at work, so I have a neutral, which is almost a little pinky beige. It looks kind of like my regular color, but just a little tiny bit browner and darker.
Yeah.
And then my normal look is just the color of blood. Anything that's the color of blood.
You're such a 90s girl.
I am.
Dark.
And
dark lipstick.
Yeah, again, you can go for a cheap lipstick, pick one up, pick a basic one up, pick something you think might be fun and just try it.
Yeah. Lip
liner, I almost never go with lip liner unless I'm doing makeup specifically for like a photo shoot because I don't know, it's kind of a pain in the butt. Or also I have some more pricey liquid lip color that loves to smear.
Oh.
And it's very opaque and kind of one of those things. It's Kat Von D. And
highly pigmented.
It's highly pigmented, and if you get it outside the lines, it's
You're
a pain in the ass to wash off.
You might as well be using Sharpie.
It's like scrub it, yeah. So, I rarely, if ever, use lip liner. I don't think if you're a beginner, you need it. If you want to pick up an eyeliner pencil, knock yourself out. Again, not a basic technique. And then speaking of technique. One more product I can think of. Get some makeup remover.
Oh God, yes.
You can get liquid makeup remover with cotton balls or toilet paper, just let that soak on your eyes. You can use Vaseline in a pinch.
Yeah, soap and water or moisturizer, the same moisturizer you used after you shaved. Like those can all help loosen stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you'll definitely want to be able to wash it off. Especially if you're not out to people. God, the number of times in high school and college I got, "Are you wearing makeup? Because I didn't wash my makeup off very well."
Well, what did you say?
I said, "Yeah, I'm wearing eyeliner because it's like cool rocker goth eyeliner."
They're like, "No, I'm talking about the lipstick."
Oh, I don't know.
That's cool rocker goth lipstick. Yeah. Get the fuck out of my face.
I was very bad. I'm surprised. When I came out to people, everyone was like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Oh my God. How did you not see the signs?" I was not very good at hiding. So technique is really going to come down to practice. And I know we said that at the beginning. We're like, Kath was like rolling her eyes at practice, but it really is practice. 100% practice. Anytime you see one of those people on YouTube who look amazeballs, or one of those people on Instagram who look amazeballs, they've put in a lot of practice and work.
Yeah.
That's how you look that way.
The reason I was rolling my eyes at it is because I get that you need to do practice. I get that there's a technique and a method and you want to get comfortable with it and you're learning the motor pattern. I get it. And like what products work best on your skin and the best way to do it. But I don't want to be shown a picture of a woman wearing eyeliner, handed an eyeliner pencil and told, go practice. I want to be told, all right, you need to hold the lid taut. And you want to start in the middle and lightly sketch lines out. And then go to the corner of the eye and draw it carefully to connect to the middle. Then see if it got too thick somewhere, if there's any parts you need to make a little darker. Like, I'm happy to practice, but there's so many ways to do it wrong that I like a little more precise instructions.
Okay.
That's my only thing.
Yeah.
Because there's so many tricks I learned years later of, like, the right way to do liquid eyeliner. It's so hard.
Yeah, I still don't know the right way to do liquid eyeliner.
It's really easy to mess up, but I found a flat brush,
Yeah.
dipped into a little pot of gel liquid eyeliner, and then you just place the brush along your lash line, and you carefully put a series of dashes
Yeah.
down. And that, it's not going to be that perfect, gorgeous stripe of marker ink that you can see in the magazines or that you're wearing right now, but it looks nice and it does the trick, and I'm happy to practice that, and it makes for a nice emphasis on the eyelid. So I guess what I'm saying to you listeners is, yeah, it's going to be practice, but also listen to us or check out the tutorials online and,
I would say,
and
yeah,
figure
check
out
out
the
tutorials.
tricks. What is it step by step? How do I do a smoky eye? How do I get a perfect matte lip? How do I get that blush to look bright and natural and, so I don't look like data.
Yeah. And again, you can screw up. It's okay to screw up.
You're gonna.
We all screw up. Every single one of us.
It's part of the fun of it.
Even the girls on Instagram who look amazing screw up from time to time. And the beautiful boys with beards and perfect makeup on YouTube. They screw up too. Everyone does. People who put it on social media don't show you that because people rarely post their fuck ups on social media. But we all do screw up, and even people may say my makeup looks fantastic. It looks fantastic when I post a picture of it. You don't see me yet. What was it, yesterday? And I had a smudge of my eyeliner smudged at home, and I'm like, no one told me this was smudged.
How long has it looked like this?
Yeah.
And this is why we told you to get the cheap makeup, too. You're going to go through some products learning.
Yeah. You're
going to do it wrong. You're going to learn the hard way that eyeliner on your bottom lid, it does not work for you. Like it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
You'll mess up, but have some fun.
Yeah. And of course, you can go to Sephora if there's a Sephora near you and mess around with their makeup. They can even help you. They can even do free makeup makeovers if you spend $50,
quote unquote free,
which is quote unquote free. But if you're gonna buy $50 worth of makeup anyway,
which is 2 items,
or 1 item, get your free makeover.
So do your homework. Go online. I think you have to book the free.
You have to
makeover.
book it in advance.
Book it in advance. But if you're planning on going on Wednesday afternoon anyway, and you're gonna get eyeliner and foundation, book it. Yeah.
But again, you don't need expensive makeup.
Yes.
You can, everything I'm telling you is drugstore makeup. I would say the majority of makeup I use every day is drugstore makeup.
Yeah.
I have some nicer stuff because once I learned how to use it, I was like, all right, I'm going to get nicer stuff. And again, most of my nice stuff is just eyeshadows because those are the ones that, where the pigmentation really matters. Most of my stuff is cheap. Yeah. My eyeliner pencils, I use cheap eyeliner pencils. I use 99-cent eyeliner pencils because that's what I like.
Do you start drawing in the middle of the eye, or do you start at the corner?
I generally, when I do eyeliner, I give my eye about 25% no eyeliner.
Okay.
And by that I mean from the nose, I go about 25% of my eye, or maybe a third of my eye. No eyeliner, and then I
you
start
drawing.
on the edge.
Okay.
And then I go in on the bottom just a little bit. Just only a little bit.
Okay.
And then I do the wing out from there. Wing is advanced. Don't worry about wings.
Yeah,
if you want
to
try
wing,
it, if you want to try it, play around with it. Otherwise, watch a tutorial. And then I tend to do a flesh colored crayon on the inside bottom lid. Yeah. So I don't do my eye. I used to do my eyeliner all around my eye, but I look like a raccoon. So now I just do it sort of more toward the edges.
And encircling your eye can make it look smaller also.
It can.
If you have huge eyes, you get to play with that. Have fun, because it's very striking. It looks really nice. I cannot get away with that. I can't do it.
I don't like it. Yeah. I tried to do like goth makeup and I'd done it and I was like, yeah. So it all just comes down to playing around. Have fun. Honestly, have fun. Mess around. If you got a friend you want to hang out with and do makeup together, awesome.
Yeah. Ask your girlfriends if you're out to them and if they're willing to help. Yeah.
It's my experience growing up, assigned male at birth and presenting male as a youth, that teenage and college age and even older girls will jump at the chance to help someone with makeup. So
they want to impart their wisdom. You're doing them a favor.
Yep. So you can be their project. Yeah. So I think it's hard. I don't want to do too many like specific techniques because we don't know what you're buying and you can't see us.
Yes.
I'm sure you're imagining us.
I'm sure. But
you can't see us. So check out those tutorials. Just Google it, YouTube, and have fun.
Have fun. And thanks for listening, everybody.
All right, everybody.
We'll talk to you next time.
Okay, bye. If you've enjoyed this episode and want to help us keep making more great content, go to patreon.com/GenderRebels.
Please leave a 5-star review on iTunes.
And send your questions to questions@genderrebels.com or find us on Twitter @GenderRebels.
Music for the Gender Rebels is by Jasper the Colossal. Follow the link down below or download them on iTunes today.
And for all our episodes, visit genderrebels.com.
Gender Rebels is a Come Back Sync production, copyright 2019. All rights reserved.
And to all you Gender Rebels out there, keep rebelling.
Bye.
Yeah, and she said, well, the first thing you gotta know is that cover girl does not cover boy. And...
Do you want to say it again so you don't step on the punchline?
So the first thing she said was that cover girl does not cover boy.
Oh!
So, and I disagree with that, and I'm going to go into why I disagree with that.